What's going on, guys? I understand entrepreneurship is very hard and your marketing campaign should not be hard at all, but it should work hard. So this is something that I wanted to clarify with you guys, and I've experienced it. My name is Efren Salazar, so let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about my story, how I started the marketing business, and how everything started and kind of transformed to it, because I wasn't looking into the marketing business at all. So this just happened. Got kind of hooked on it because I figured out that everything that I've worked with, I can put them all together. So first of all, this is how it starts. I started in the computer repairs. Very not knowledgeable in school at all, but I was very knowledgeable in technology, how everything I worked and everything that I was doing. I've always been into technology, so that's when I started getting more into my technology wise. And I did that. So I did a technology. I started getting into computer repairs. I started putting a lot of my effort. I started dedicating myself, and I got into reading. Even though I hated reading, I went to passion because I hated it. And English is not my primary language at the moment. My primary language is Spanish. So this was a little bit more complicated because I couldn't read in English, or I wasn't able to talk in English. So it was harder for me to kind of understand everything. So everything that I've learned, it was learning by myself. It wasn't going through school or a college. So this is the way I started to learn. And I got into the computers, started learning, educating myself. And little by little, I started knowing, like, okay, I'm pretty knowledgeable in computers. I can learn pretty quick. Then after that, I started getting into a program that's called Photoshop. This program was insane because they gave it to me, and they were like, hey, you know what? Can you make a copy of this? And I was like, sure, I can make a copy of it. But I never thought what it was. I made a copy, and every program that I got, I've always installed it on my computer and figured out what it was and how it worked. And I've always been curious about that. So I installed this Photoshop program. I think it was Photoshop 7.0 or 6.0, something like that. It was an older version. And I got into the graphic designing, and I've always been into art. So I've always been into creative stuff like that, but I was never creative on drawing. So I got into the graphic designing. Little by little, I started making my own business cards. Little by little, I started making my own business. So I was promoting a lot of computer repairs, doing my computer repairs. And this is a story of how everything started with the marketing. So, and after that, I figured out that, you know what, I have the graphic designing techniques. Let me just do flyers. So I started doing flyers. I started promoting myself, and I started advertising and stuff like that. There was internet, but there was nothing about promotion about internet like that. So I wasn't doing anything promotion like that. I had physical papers, going to stores and just standing outside, feeling awkward, shy. I was one of the kids that I would never talk to nobody. And this is the time that I kind of broke my ice. I had to get out of my comfort zone. So I got out of my comfort zone and started passing out flyers because I was so ambitious about it. I had this dream, and I wanted to finish this dream. I wanted to be a technician. I wanted to be a computer technician. And I was so obsessed of it that I had to do it. No matter what, I had to do it. And so I was doing that for a few years. I started kind of breaking the ice of feeling a little bit better, talking to people, communicating with people, and engaging with people. And people started kind of liking me from there, and I started getting a lot of following. Then after that, I was just doing my thing on the computer repairs. One day, I was already a few years in it. I got a call one day, or I got a message on MySpace. I think it was on MySpace or Facebook. I forgot. It was still pretty old. Got a message. Kind of jumped up on a lot of stuff because in the end it was just all computer repairs. And then after that, I got a message from a friend of mine that he wanted to open a store. So it was like, hey, you know what, I'm interested in opening a store. We're trying to do a cell phone and computer repair, and I know your reputation has been out there. You've been out there. Everybody knows you. So I would like to jump in the team. I was like, you know what, let's do it. So we went to the partnership, and I started doing all the computer repairs. He was doing all the cell phone repairs. We both started expanding in different ways, and just knowing the knowledge from there. I wasn't really into the phone industry at all. I didn't want to get into it. Even until now, I already got done with it, but that wasn't really my goal. So I did that for about 7 years already. 7 years in that industry of a computer and cell phone repairs. I did that for about 7 years. And when I was in that store, I started exploring marketing techniques because I wanted to grow my business through computer repairs. And I was like, you know what? I have to learn how to branch myself. I'm unique. I know I'm unique. Every computer repair shop that I know, nobody does what I do. Nobody does photography. Nobody does graphic designing. Nobody does website designing. Nobody does search engine optimization. Nobody does none of this stuff. None of this creation stuff. And I've always been into creating stuff. So little by little, I started expanding my knowledge, expanding my knowledge of how I can work all this together in one marketing technique. And the experiences that I know is because I'm knowledgeable. I already experienced how to work and how to be in a physical location, how to build that physical location and brand myself. So I started branding myself, and a lot of people already know me from Efren or the technician or the cell phone technician. There's different ways they know me as, but in the end, they look for me. And that's what I started branding. I started growing. I started figuring out how brands work, and I started figuring out what colors look and what colors would work and what doesn't work. So I had a lot of failures, a lot. Honestly, there's more than you ever thought or ever think. You might say, oh, okay, I see all the accomplishments you've done, or you're already pretty huge. Everybody knows you. Well, honestly, it was one of the most complicated things that I've ever done in my life. It was marketing, because I was doing so many bad things and I didn't know. If I had a mentor, an educator, or somebody, that would have helped a lot. The reason I say I didn't have a mentor, because I really didn't. I was just kind of like, let's go, let's try it. I wasn't scared of trying something new. I was, but that wasn't stopping me. I was always scared, but that wouldn't stop me. I would keep going and going and going, no matter what. Even if I failed, I was like, okay, I failed. I tried it again. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's try a different way. Let's try this. So I've done so many things, and I can tell you from a few little things that I've done. I did computer repairs. I did graphic designing. I did logo designing. I did logo designing. I did, logo designing. Business cards designs, pictures, videos, photography, videography, website designing, SEO, audio optimization, audio generation. Audio engineering. I didn't like it. Oh, I didn't get the hang of it. Right now, I'm just kind of like figuring out again, because it's been so long. But audio engineering, making beats. What else? Beats, graphic designing. The thing is kind of selling too. I hated selling at first. I hated it with a passion, but now that I've got into it, it's not about selling. It's more about educating the customer, and educating the customer will convert you to a sale. So it automatically converts to a client. So that's something that I always want to tell people. And I've always been like a person that I've always wanted to help. So my main goal was like, okay, I got all these talents. How can I put them all together? I was just kind of all over the place. I didn't know what to do. I was like saying, hey, I'm a videographer. Hey, I'm a photographer. Hey, I'm a DJ. I was a DJ too. I was like, hey, I'm a DJ. Or I'm a technician. Hey, I'm a this, I'm this, and this. And everybody kept like getting confused. Like, so what do you do? Like, you do so many things. What do you mainly focus on? Like, what's like your main focus? And a lot of people would tell me too, what's your main focus? What's the thing that you think that you're the best of the best? And I would be like, I don't know. I think everything I'm doing is, I know the minimum at least to know a lot more than someone else. But I never had 100% that I was fully knowledgeable. I didn't know what to say. I think I'm knowledgeable from all of them, because I kind of put all my dedication to all the trades that I have. I put a lot of dedication to it. And a lot of people didn't understand that. They were like, how are you gonna know everything but you're not a perfection of one? So I started figuring it out. I was like, okay, I have to connect these dots. These are random dots everywhere. So let me figure it out what works for everything. So little by little, I started educating myself little by little, started kind of like thinking. Like, how can I put all this stuff together in one service instead of me doing multiple service? And that's when I came up. A little light bulb came up. Marketing. Like, marketing does everything that you do. You're a tech. Yeah, you might need some technical support. You might need some basic technical stuff. Okay, I'm already tech. You need some audio engineering for a little bit of podcast and video editing and all that stuff. Okay, I already know that. You need video. Okay, I already know I'm pretty knowledgeable with the audio. Okay, you need to do photography. Okay, I'm kind of new in the photography. I know the photography. I know the basics of photography. So then now I figured out like, okay, I got everything now. Now let me expand my knowledge through marketing. Then I started educating myself into marketing, started learning more about marketing, how everything worked and how marketing really is, if it's a scam, if it's not a scam. I always see Ty Lopez. I was like, man, that guy's a scam and this and that. And I started like, that guy got so annoying that I was like, you know what is he doing? I got curious again because I've always been a curious person. And like, I got curious, like, why is he doing this and why does he do this? So I got curious and kept looking around and see. I started looking at Ty Lopez and I started seeing Grant Cardone and I started seeing Tony Robbins. I started seeing other different people. So from there, I kind of got more curious about like these mentors because I never had a physically mentor. The only physical mentor that I had, it was my cousin that he was teaching me about computers. Unfortunately, he passed away in an accident, not a car accident, but some other type of accident. I don't want to discuss it because it's something impactful for me. But so that's what it was. So I didn't have no mentors. My parents weren't into business. My dad really motivated me to be in the business, like really motivated. He was like, do whatever you gotta do. Just don't work for somebody. You can work for somebody. If you're gonna work for somebody, at least educate yourself, go to school and everything. But you have to learn something. And that's what I started getting into. I was like, okay, I have to learn something. That got kind of my head. I have to learn something. I have to educate myself somehow in any way. I hated school, so I know that wasn't meant for me. And I was like, you know what? Let me educate myself. Let me get my books. Let me get my stuff. YouTube wasn't out there yet. So I started reading, even though I hated reading, like I said. And I started reading more into the marketing, how everything was working and how it is successfully, how it works, people can be impacted in a good way, because a lot of people are kind of scared of like, okay, they're just trying to take my money or there's a scam or anything like that. So I wasn't trying to do none of that stuff. I was trying to help and I'm trying to support and educate people. So that's my main goal for every single thing that I'm trying to do. So that's always been my goal to do, and I've always trying to accomplish of educating. So that's my biggest thing. It's always been education for everybody, because I wasn't fully educated, so I want to educate someone else, but in a different way, a different format, instead of just the school or college. So I wasn't really dedicated into that. So that's something I want to talk to you guys about, how my story of marketing and my story of entrepreneurship. And let me just summarize a few things. My entrepreneurship was that I was young, unskilled, and want to learn. So my entrepreneurship was young and dumb. My entrepreneurship was young and dumb and didn't know what to expect. And just wanted to expand myself. I want to expand my knowledge. Just wanted to learn more and more and more. That's all I wanted to do, but I didn't want to go to school. You know what I mean? So that's what it was. My mentors didn't have no mentors. I started doing my mentors by myself. I started learning, experimenting, and failing as much as I can. And in the beginning, of course, it was stressful, painful, because nobody wants to fail. So in the end, I started failing and learning how I can succeed to this and how I can learn from this. Mental strength. How did I gain my mental strength? My mental strength was through going to the gym, going to run, going to a trainer, and physically train my body, physically train my mind too. So I was prepared for every single thing. So guys, that's something I just wanted to talk to you about. So it's the Wake Up Agency, and that's why I call it the Wake Up Agency. Wake up, because I was sleeping, I was lacking, I was depressed, I was everything, and that thing woke me up. I had that fire in me and I had to blow it up. So I'm here, I'm doing it. It's a Wake Up Agency. So thank you for checking out this podcast. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you guys, and I'll keep you in the hustle, keep you around, and just know the fact that you're not alone. Even though you feel alone, you can still do it no matter what. So let's do it. Thank you.